If you've missed the news today, this one's for you.
I know my first TikTok is supposed to be something fun.
So if you're a student or you've got student debt, you're going to want to hear this.
I don't know about you, but I'm seeing a lot of Aussie politicians joining TikTok.
I say that this goofy air government have been capping.
I did not think it would go viral, but it's so great to see the reception. I mean, it's not everyone's cup of tea, and it's not supposed to be everyone's cup of tea.
Just put the fries in the bag, little bro.
Whether they thought it was cringe or not, I think a lot of young people tuned in and were like, oh, curious about who is this person?
This person is independent WA Senator Fatima Payman, and the speech we're talking about is this one.
Even though he's the Prime Minister of Australia, sometimes it feels like he's the CEO of Ohio.
It was sort of just brainstorming with my team in Canberra, and we're like, we need to connect with young people. And I've got a 21-year-old in my office who's my policy advisor. He was like, well, we can incorporate some Gen Alpha terms. So basically we had a rough speech skeleton drafted, and he started inserting all these references. And I think till today, there's 4.5 million likes and I think over 20 million views.
Not all of the feedback has been positive.
Skibbity.
A bit strange.
I thought it was AI.
Cringe. Cringe. Cringe.
Very cringe. Cringe, absolutely.
Not that I would do it again, because, you know, you don't want to... It would be a buzzkill if you keep doing that.
But politicians like Senator Payman are trying pretty hard to connect to younger voters. More than 1.7 million Australians aged 18 to 24 are enrolled to vote in next year's federal election.
4,116 of those calls were answered and acted on.
The minds of young people are different and we think differently. Our views often go like overlooked and, oh yeah, you guys say this, or like, you know, they sort of overlook it.
Some politicians think what's best for them and their committee and not really thinking about the impacts that it can have on other people and the future.
When you're really young, it's hard to get a voice through, but when you have people that listen to you, you gain respect. And I think that if that just keeps having like a ripple effect and more politicians like have respect for children, you can grow that respect for them as well.
These Aussie teenagers are taking part in a program called Junior Parliament.
But they have themselves no idea.
They spend a week living the life of a politician, including coming up with laws and changes they want to see and debating them in Parliament.
That there will be less neglect by foster families.
They want our political leaders to be more involved on the platforms they're using.
I think that like something important for a politician or people in power in general is to be like okay when people point out their flaws, and social media and TikTok
really helps.
Yeah, it really helps that because it has a large like demographic of people. So if you're on the news or a particular like news channel that maybe an older demographic of people watch, you're completely like blocking out the younger people.
It's meet them where they're at. It's important to meet young people, whether it's on social media, whether it's platforms that they're on, Discord, Twitch. There are all these awesome media platforms that you can reach young people. Gone are the days where you'd knock on the door and people would answer and you'd be able to talk to a young person.
They're trialling a lot of different techniques at the moment. Because we've moved as a society away from traditional media approaches, politicians have started to have to move in the same direction.
Dr. Susan Grantham is a researcher from Griffith University who looks into how effectively politicians use social media.
I think it is effective, and I also think it's essential. So having the politicians on there is allowing a group of people who would otherwise not be engaging in political content, having an opportunity to engage in content that is really important to them.
While Dr. Grantham says being on social media is important for politicians, posting authentic content is key.
Absolutely, and this is where this political persona comes into effect. So if you look at the politicians that are currently on TikTok, so Fatima Payman is a really good example.
Massive news, I've launched a party, and no, it's not called Skibbity Senators Party, it's called Australia's Voice.
She's of a younger generation. She can get away with some of these things. Whereas if you were to look at someone like Peter Dutton and his newly created TikTok account, if you saw him do that, it doesn't align with his political persona.
For many young Australians, owning a home isn't just a dream, it's becoming a growing challenge.
So that would take it too far. Kamala Harris is a great example. She has developed a fun and exciting and energetic persona. So her engaging with trends, perfectly acceptable.
As my friend Quavo would say, he does not walk it like he talks it. Take my shoes and walk a mile, something you can't do.
Whereas Donald Trump's persona is vastly different. So if you saw him engaging with trends, it would seem strange.
This is the cost of food. This is the cost of your basics.
What I'm hearing is young people feel that politicians don't truly represent them. The future leaders of our nation are not afraid to speak their mind. They are bold. They want things done. Empty statements won't cut it. I'm here to cheer them on and say, keep getting involved, keep having your voices heard.
These teens won't be eligible to vote in the next election, but they do know what they want from their future leaders.
Someone who's empathetic, someone who's willing to get involved with the community.
Someone who actually takes the time out of their day to listen to young people.
Probably someone who's genuine, passionate, understanding, knows when they're wrong, knows when, accepts faults, and also doesn't keep minority groups or young people out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.